Yay. All right, guys. Day 2, so to speak. All right, so yesterday I got this far. Looks pretty good, don't it? Got some chrome on the windshield wipers there, and I have some red metallic on the lights. Looks pretty good. Actually, it almost matches the headlights. Pretty good. Okay, so today, two things. I'm going to get the axe done, get the other colors on the axe, and the hard part, painting the teal on the crotch parts here. So I think I showed this yesterday, I might not have. So I've got TS41 Coral Blue. That's a near perfect color match to what it needs to be. Now, if you want to use the stickers, by all means. But what I'm figuring out is the stickers don't like to stick to paint. Go figure. I don't really want to use the stickers anyways. So one thing I want to do is, you can see the part right there, the raised part. I'm going to try to mask this part off. It's trying to focus on my face. I'm going to mask this off, and then I'm going to do hand painting on the indented parts. That's going to be the hard part. So what I have here is an empty cup. Got tons of these. They're very good for doing any kind of paint work or stuff, stupid things like that that you just don't need. So what I'm just going to do, and I've done this before. Oops, I didn't mean to set that down there. I'll take tape. I'm going to use lots and lots of tape. I'm going to spray the paint into this cup and then very quickly try to paint on the things I need. It's going to be a difficult thing, but thank God it's small and like inside little parts, so maybe it'll be okay. We'll see. Otherwise, I would have to try to mask off. I mean, I could probably mask off the square hole. The round hole will be impossible. So maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just skip the round hole and just go for that. Maybe I think that's probably what I'll do. I really wish that this color was available in jar, or at least it probably is. Most of their colors are, but what are you focusing, camera? But they didn't have it at Hobbytown, sadly. So that's what I'm gonna do, and hopefully I'll try to be able to capture all that masking. The thing is, I have to be super careful because this is a painted part. So, I mean, it's going to be essentially all straight edges, so it should be okay, but I just don't want to cut any excess off. You know what I mean? So, yay for that. And then as for the axe, I'm going to, which it's still over there, I'm going to take off all the masking that I put on the handle, and then I'm going to cover the blade and the other part that I don't want to get wet or getting paint on. I'll cover that with some loose plastic, seal it up nice with some tape, mask off the edges. That I need to spray the gray color, which is right over there. So, and yeah, I was going to do it with silver, but yeah. Though, I wonder, might have an idea. We'll see. But in the meantime, I gotta go to the bathroom. Alright guys, so did that part, also did the axe. It's over there drying. That went off really nice. The German gray is actually pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and try to peel this and see what's going on underneath. Just trying to be careful about how I set things down. Okay, remove these. Just don't want to grab it anywhere I actually painted, or anywhere the paint's going to stick, I should say. And just get to peeling. Gotta hope that I had good coverage. Oh shit. And this is one of those reasons why you use a ton of small strips, although it is tedious. Also, it feels kind of good to peel it. I'll say it does take some of the silver paint with it. That's not great, but it's going to be weathered anyway, so I guess that's okay. And it's just gray underneath, so it's not like a huge shock. Okay. Ah. So one thing that sucks about using this much tiny strips of tape that want to stick to your fingers. Come on, cooperate. Can't get it off. Okay, so that's that. Also want to be careful because I don't want to scratch the paint while trying to remove some tape. Okay. There we go. Good chunk right there. And the last little piece. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that beauty. That came out just right. Like I said, the color is pretty much spot on to what it needed to be. So that makes me happy. See, if I tried to do this yesterday, it would have taken a lot more paint off. But it's not terrible. Like I said, it just helps with the weathered look to some degree. Come on. Okay. Come on. It does help if you can find the one piece that's underneath everybody to peel up. Oh yeah, that's nice. Just a little bit over, but not enough to make a difference. Oh yeah. That sounds like, okay. I was gonna say UPS truck, but it wasn't. I've got some leakage here. That's not good. But I can always hit those areas. You can see there. See, it's got a little bit out. I can just go ahead and weather that. A little bit of black weathering. All good. Alright guys, so I did actually try this idea out a little bit, so I just sprayed it in here, and you can see it's still plenty loose, and actually implies pretty thin. I just wanted to add just a little bit of teal detail up here. Looks really good. I did try it a little bit here on the feet. I tried applying it to that raised area. It did not work out too well, so I abandoned the idea real quick. For little recesses like this, works out really good. I don't want to go overboard with it. I just wanted a little bit of detail. And as I described in the Optimus video, I did sand down the edges of the tab and then glued the whole shoulder together. So hopefully, I mean, it's not red, so you can barely, it's black. You're not going to be able to see through it. So hopefully the stress marks that the red had won't happen here. So is what it is. But at the moment, I'm going to go get the smokestacks, which I had to add another layer of paint to. I missed a little bit yesterday. So I can put the smokestacks on the shoulders and get them done. I want to get the arms built this afternoon. Alright guys, so it is several days later. It's now Monday. I've gotten a haircut. I'm very sweaty. I'm doing laundry and stuff. It's raining and cold and crappy outside, so I'm glad that I went ahead and did all my painting already. But here we go. So this is your boy. Just done and done. But what we're going to do now to complete the look, so to speak, we're going to do some weathering. I'm going to go with the weathering master system here from Tamiya. I've got soot, rust, silver, more rust, gunmetal, and some snow. I think it is. Yeah, snow. It's very dirty snow at this point. One thing that's really hard to do is keep the individual things clear. Basically works just like women putting on makeup. It's the same concept exactly. Now, one thing I do have, it normally would come with little sponge brushes, but Nick threw those away a long time ago. Mind you, these are still Nick's, technically. I've just adopted them. I bought a sponge brush, but it ended up getting destroyed just trying to use it. It wasn't, even though it was a Tamiya brush, it was made for that reason, it died. But what I do have is a brush that, it wasn't in the best shape ever, so what I did is, where's my camera? I just use it to brush on the stuff. It takes a little bit longer. It's not getting applied as heavily, but I don't like super heavy weathering anyway, so it is what it is. Another thing, we're going to be doing a lot of dry brushing with some silver, some gunmetal, or some gunmetal, our favorite metallics, silver. Gonna do dry brushing a little bit with that. Might dry brush a little actual flat black on a little bit of area. And also maybe just in a couple spots a little bit of copper. But there's another spot that I still want to put some of that teal color, so I'm going to go back to doing that and brushing that on. So I'll be doing that as well. This is the part that takes a long time. This build doesn't really take that long. The dry brushing, the detail work, stuff like that. And I don't want it to look exactly like I did Prime. Also, some of the brighter silver on him, I want to dirty up, make a little bit darker, because he's evil. He's crap. He needs to be whatever. One thing I might have to do, I need to look at it. One problem that I always have is the windshield wipers, because I put the chrome paint on there. Just in handling him, you always end up smudging it, because it does not ever dry hard. So it sucks. But that's what I'm going to be doing as well. I'm doing laundry, so I'm going to be popping in and out, but that's what it's going to be. So, yay. You can look at some of the techniques and stuff like that to see how I do the thing. So, if you guys want to see something dumb, remember I couldn't figure out what the other tab was. I mean, I'll probably have this in a review already, but this new mount back here on the backpack, couldn't figure out what that was for. It's actually for the gun, and they legit want you to put it on like this, to where his handle is like poking him in the back of the head. That's stupid. The gun should be mounted sideways on a butt skirt. I was going to do things differently for Nemesis than regular Prime, but I said no, it's too stupid. So I'll be doing that. But as for weathering and stuff, so we'll be dry brushing the gun, just kind of all over. Give a little bit of soot and wear around the barrel tip. The hands, obviously, those are fairly easy to do. The blade, however, the axe, I'll probably do a little bit around the edges. this time. I didn't do it before. And then I still, like I said, I need to paint along here. I want to do just this little part in that teal color. Give it a little bit of something, something. But, you know, like I said, this is the time-consuming part. Also, it comes down to being a little bit creative, but not too overindulgent when it comes to, you know, really doing these things. Something I'm going to need some paper towels for the brushes. So this was the chipping brush that I made, so you can see it's like super rough, and also the fact it's very frizzy now actually adds to the effect. It was a cheap brush that I had quit using, and now it works for this purpose. You can see how it's just kind of raggedy and just like spiky haired. So that's actually very good for this reason. I don't know if I'll actually do the Tamiya stuff. I might, just to get some rust in there. But then again, if I use the copper, dry brush on some copper, that'll handle some of that. But mind you, I am doing a difference of some of this is Tamiya paints, some of this is Mr. Color paints, so I want to add a little bit of that. So actually, realistically, a lot of the things that I was using these for, I don't know if I will. Because the flat black will cover for soot, this covers for gunmetal, this covers for rust, so we'll see what happens. But for the most part, I'm going to start with the silver. I've been using, what I'll usually do is I'll squidge out some silver paint from these markers, and squidge is the technical term. But what I like to do, I don't have one handy, I'll have to get one. I'll just get a little water bottle cap. Because we drink a lot of water around here, so we always have caps available. Works for a perfectly good palette. So that's what I'll be doing for that. I'm going to start with a silver base and then work from there just around everybody, including the gun, the axe, and everything else like that. The hands are super easy. They just get some dry brushing around the knuckles and whatnot. And I've got some cold coffee over here. Alright, so this would be the squidging out portion. And sometimes it's easier than others. Just do that. This is actually one of the main ways you really should use Gundam marker. A lot of people, including myself, will apply it directly to whatever they're working on. Though, in reality, you should be doing it this way, where you squidge out a little bit. Or, if you are keen on it, use the Gundam marker airbrushing system, which I have yet to finish reviewing. David hasn't brought it back. Okay, so I've got a little bit of silver going in here. We're going to go Bob Ross on this. So just sort of use the crappy brush, and this is the dry brush part. You pick up the paint, and then you waste so much of it. And then you grab your hand in an effective manner, and then you brush. And I'm doing this one a bit better than I did Prime, because I had way too wet of a brush half the time I was working on Prime. Or Optimus, I should say, because technically they're both Prime. One thing I don't have is a ton of light. I've got too many different light sources here. And you can go up, you can go down, you can go sideways. I'm going to hit the top of the knuckle area, hit all of your corners and edges. You don't want blanket coverage. You want semi-random. And then occasionally you can just do something like that. And overkill it like that. Really frack up the back of the hand. Which was not my intent, but hey, it's not too bad. I'll get up inside the thing. So blotting also works. I probably wipe away a lot of excess on the back of the hand, honestly, because that was an accident. But surprisingly, direction matters. What I can't see is how much is really being applied there. Roll it around, get some decent embeddedness in the brush. And then just lightly. Whoa. Good problem with holding it with a ball joint. Just give it a nice light coat. Get some nice happy fingers. Happy little dry brushed fingers. Get it up in the knuckles there. Nothing ridiculous. I'm gonna get some heavy spots. Oh, this is the point of chipping. Chip it. Though people chip in multiple different ways. I'll cover that another day on how I want to chip some stuff. So that's a decent dry brushed hand. So mind you, once again, I can't really see everything I'm doing here. One thing would be nice. Grab my tweezers here, make my life a little easier. And guys, I definitely recommend these reverse style tweezers that you don't have to hold. They do their holding for themselves. Also keeps you from potentially getting any paint on your fingers, which, as you guys know, I'm always keen to do. And so, not just silver, I'll probably, gotta love the dumpster being picked up right now, I'll probably go through with a little bit of matte black as well, and then some rusty color. Rusty! Oh no, Rusty! Don't ask. It's best if you just don't ask. And every now and then you want to clean the brush out just because, especially if you change colors, but that can also be effective, is to have a mix. And the yippy dogs are being walked next door. Get that dry brush. And see, one thing that always makes sense is if you're going to do it in a direction, do it in the direction that movement happens. And the reason why that would be scraped up in the first place. It just makes more sense. You don't just do it in every direction, because then you just have blanket damage, and that's not really what happens. Okay, we'll start with the gun. See, like here in particular, the gun handle will be a little bit more beat up than other things, because that's where he holds it, obviously. So the handle will get a little bit more beat up than anything else. And silver's getting a little thin here, and that's fine. We can always get some more. But in the case of the gun, you just imagine that a lot of crap is going to happen in the same direction. And say like the pins that plug into the back and stuff, those are going to be worn more than other things. Any part sticking out is going to hit more. So right now the brush is a little too dry, so it's not really applying much. So I gotta do a little bit more. Might have to minimize my light sources here. Where's me marker? Yar, where be my marker? You're going full on pirate now. So I'm going to squidge and then kind of move it around a little bit. My alarm should be going off any minute now if it hasn't. Get all the excess off. Then and see, one thing is the edges are what are going to get hit. So those are what's going to be scraped. But then when you go back through with something like dirt or rust, that's going to be in areas where stuff is going to collect. So that'll be your creases, that'll be your indentations that will get that kind of situation. But then like back here, these vents should all get a little bit, and then that edge is there. In reality, this might end up better than my Optimus. We'll see. Because I'm in a little bit less of a hurry than I was with him. Taking a little bit more time. Okay, this side needs a little bit more. Oop, now I'm streaking. That's not what I want. Hold on. Okay, so what we want here, since the barrel is the business end, we want the heavier stuff to be near the tip and dissipating outward from that. And this will be also where I probably bring out a little bit more soot and stuff on that. Make sure that top edge is getting worn out. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. A little bit more there. Anywhere that I end up with like a solid streak, I'll just come back with a Q-tip and some thinner and just kind of knock it down. Take out some excess. Go ahead and hit these edges, these corners. Occasionally a heavy-handed chip is fine. Make sure you hit over the nub marks there. So this will be kind of where it rests against his arm. So we can say that this section is a little bit more beat up. Get a little bit in that crack there. Very nice. And occasionally, if you just have a big open area, just go, just splop it. That's the technical term, splop. So there we have a nice looking dry brush gun, and that's my alarm going off. So laundry time. Okay guys, so what I'm working on here, I did the axe, I did the little teal chunk of the axe. I might go over it a little bit later, make it a little bit brighter, but a little dull is fine. But what I'm about to do while I've got a little bit more paint, I want to do these raised areas on the feet. Now I have sprayed some paint into the cup, and before it really gets too thick to work with, I'm going to try to do this. I've done this before, tried doing it before, and it turned out to be a mess. But that was also super thin. This might work out better. The irony being that the bottom one went on its own without me trying, and the top one is the one that is being problematic. If I get a little bit of spillage, that'll be okay, I guess. I'll just clean it up with a Q-tip. With a sharp Q-tip. Okay. Not going to be perfect, but it's a lot better than it was last time. Last time it was completely out of control. Alright, where's my paint? There's my paint. Okay. So, oop, that's way too much. Well, that worked out surprisingly well. Okay. It's working out pretty good for now. So I can get just a little bit more on there before it gets too dry. So this is an option for anybody if you don't have access to like jar paints or something like that. If you need to do something like this, you can. Just know it's pain. But it's working out fairly well this time. I do have to do some cleanup on it, but the feet and the legs are just too much black and silver. So doing that number right there makes it look awesome. And now it's laundry time again. Alright guys, so sorry I kind of didn't get a whole lot more footage. Camera died on me. Just that time of day, so the camera died. But I pretty much have the whole thing weathered. Of course, I have the axe. Very light there. My camera's all like goopy, so nothing wants to focus properly. Like I said, cold rain. Got a lot of dry brushing here. Got some extra paint, stuff like that. Same thing with the gun. Like I said, you'll see these things in a review, but it doesn't know where to focus. But using all the different dry brushing techniques, basically going back and forth between blacks and silvers. You can see things just kind of all over here. It's a little heavy in some spots, but I consider Nemesis to be like the dirtier, grimier version of Prime, of Optimus. So to me, like while he looked perfect and clean and everything before, he should be a little bit more grimy, a little bit more beat up than Optimus. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong. But it looks pretty good. I have to wait till I get it under my actual lights to see what's going on. And like I said, I basically used all the same techniques we've already looked at. But guys, that's it for this kind of behind the scenes build log for the Flame Toys Nemesis Prime. Of course, if you somehow saw this without seeing a review, go check that out. It should be up here in the thingy up there. So go do that. It was a lot more fun. One of these days when I get an airbrush and I can have a chance, I want to do like that hot metal look like the box shows for the thing. But this used the different levels of techniques, masking things off a lot more than I did with Optimus, spraying stuff into a cup to use as actual paint, so that actually worked out a little bit better, and doing little touches to make sure that I didn't do the exact same thing, just in a different color. So added more detail work, especially with the teal color stuff like that. So I really did dig this. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have any other questions, if you do, obviously in the comments down below. This is probably a much longer video if I didn't time lapse a lot more stuff. So, but guys, hope you all have enjoyed this. I'm going to try to do them occasionally. I can't do them for every single build. It takes a long time to do that, not to mention the sheer amount of editing I'm going to have to do. But hope it gives you an idea of masking, painting with rattle cans, weathering, different options like that. If you haven't done these things, I mean, mind you, this is all very basic level kind of stuff. So, but I'll catch you guys later. Remember, as always, right, but I'll catch you guys later. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. Hit that subscribe-ish button if you haven't. And go check out the Patreon if you want to help support the channel. Go buy some Shoky shirts, like the Lupus for Lupus shirt, or the Shoky shirts, or the Double October shirts. The hashtag nub shaming shirt is probably long gone by now, but I'll probably do another run of those eventually, depending on if they sold at all. But I'll catch you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on building.